If I live in Ghana and my wife makes 10 million Ghana cedis a month and I make 7,000 cedis and somebody has to stay home and take care of the house so that the other one will go and make money and come, I wouldn't say because she's a woman she should stay home. Masai, 10 million Ghana cedis. What are you talking about? That is their problem.
Anytime I think about it, I'm like, why are people so pissed off when a young lady says, I want a man that can take care of me as a spec, as a preference? So are we going to say that we shouldn't add that as part of the preferences?
When a lady says, I want a guy who can take care of me, then the men have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Why? Why should you have a... That's what she wants. If you're not in that category, move and let her go looking for what she wants.
So then do you agree that people should date in their lane, not, because I think, right, this is my personal way, I think that some men feel like they should have access to every woman. I think that's what brings the fight, because if you don't feel like you need access to
I am looking for the word. I don't want to sound insulting. Yeah. I can't do that. So I'm looking for the word, but that's very weak mentality.
Okay.
If I should put it that way.
At this juncture, it's like when you say you want something specific about someone you would want to be with, it has become a problem. If you say you want somebody that's a stick, you are talking plenty, you're talking rubbish. If you want somebody that is thin, that's a problem. If you want somebody that has money, you're a gold digger. If you haven't got somebody that like a whole lot. And so we're going to go through that. We're going to unpack that particular issue that is going on social media. But before we go in there, do you have a spec?
I do.
Tell us your spec.
Somebody who's sensible.
That's your spec.
Yeah. That's top on the list.
There are types of specs. There's the physical attributions and then there's the other one. So let's start with the physical and I'm going.
Secondly, physical still somebody who has sex. So the fact is that that's the priority. When you know somebody who is empathetic, who is considerate and thinks about other people's well-being other than themselves, everything else can follow.
Okay.
So for me, that's top of the list. Before I come physical, I don't really think there is something I would not like.
Okay. So anything
other than you being unhealthy, of course.
What do you mean by being unhealthy?
So nowadays when you talk about it, they say you are shaming
somebody.
But I'm not shaming anybody. Being unhealthy can be either malnourished,
okay,
or obese. So it's the full spectrum for me. It's not just about... I've been with very slim ladies before. I've been with thick ones before, and so I mean,
so you like, I feel like with what you're describing, it looks like you want people in the middle. Like,
I want middle and above. I hear, but I mean, physically, I would choose balance. That's what I say all the time. I would want to choose a balance, not too much on this side and the other side is
not giving,
not present, or too much here and there. If it's balanced, it's good for me.
Your breast kakra, bunda kakra, everything.
Start off and let me look at something.
I'm very good.
If you calculate it like that, then yeah.
Okay. So understanding your spec, I mean, it's reasonable. But then when does it become unreasonable to have a spec? Because as I said before, it has become a problem now when you say you want a certain type of person.
So what I think about this, basically there's a battle between males and female. I don't say men and women. Males and females. When it comes to physical attributes, mostly women have a problem when a man has that spec.
In what sense?
In the sense that, walk on the street, ask a lady, what do you look out for in a man? They will gladly tell you, I want six-pack. I want somebody who's taller than me because I want to look up to him. I don't want to look down on him. What happens to the short guys? The short guys also deserve love.
Short kings.
But if the tables are turned and a guy says, okay, I want a slim lady, I don't want a fat girl. They say you are body shaming. Mostly women say that. Then on the other side, when a lady says, I want a guy who can take care of me, then the men have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Why? Why should you have a... That's what she wants. If you're not in that category, move and let her go looking for what she wants.
So then do you agree that people should date in their lane, not, because I think, right, this is my personal way. I think that some men feel like they should have access to every woman.
That's...
'Cause I think that's what brings the fight, because if you don't feel like you need access to
I
every woman,
am looking for the word. I don't want to sound insulting.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So I'm looking for the word. But that's very weak mentality.
Okay.
If I should put it that way. Because human beings have choices. And the fact that you see somebody and you're attracted to them doesn't necessarily mean they have to reciprocate it. It doesn't work like that. So if I like you and you don't like me, move.
But it's looking like it's becoming a fight, because this is the thing. I remember some time back, right, there was this whole thing about men that like us, and then women that are also looking for men that will take care of them. And then they only attributed, you need to have, let's say if you're a man and you're looking for a girl that has ass, you need to have money, And I'm like, okay, so what about those that don't have ass, that are looking for men that are going to take care of them?
It all comes down to choices. I mean, there are men who have the means to take care of a woman, and they are not looking for as much flesh as I would look for. So they want something portable that can fit into their palms. And that's their choice. And they have the means. So when they meet a lady like that, they are more than ready to take care of them. So I think that when people talk about choices, nobody should have a problem with it.
Yeah, but they do. So now we're here to find why they do.
That's one, weak mentality and lack of understanding. Because if you understand how the world works, even God does not force people to worship him. He says he has given everybody free will. So if God himself cannot force me to worship him, who are you to tell me I must like you by force? Or who are you to say you have access to everybody? Everybody has a choice. So it's a mentality problem from my perspective.
I think the whole idea of, spec and preferences in relationships, like you said, it has become a war between a male and female. It's a gender thing.
Yeah.
And because of that, people coming up with, oh, I want this in that person, I want that in that person, now has become a superficial thing. They feel like it's superficial now. Anything that comes to you, take it. I think that is bullcrap, because everybody, just like you have the right to serve whoever you want to serve, just like you have the right to vote for whoever you want to vote for, I also have the right to choose. Yeah, because I also have the right to choose whoever I want to be with. And so in 100 years, anytime I think about it, I'm like, why are people so pissed off when a young lady says, I want a man that can take care of me as a spec, as a preference? So are we going to say that we shouldn't add that as part of the preferences?
You talked about being superficial.
Yeah.
I think that, for most men, I can't say 100%. You can't generalize like that anyway.
You can't.
For most men, people say that a man can marry any lady.
Okay.
But women
Can't.
women can't. They have to make sure they get somebody who fits their criteria, because a man loves 100%. Women,
Sure.
yes, I'm very sure of what I'm saying. If you want, we can discuss it. Men love unconditionally, but a man is only loved on condition that he can provide.
Okay. I hear people say this a lot.
A man can pick up any lady from anywhere and say, I'm taking care of you.
Okay.
To a certain point, and then I'll marry you. Hardly will you hear a lady do that.
Yeah, but you see, if we're saying that, then we could also say that at some point, men will be like, I don't want a woman that cannot take care of their home. That's also a preference for them.
It is. It is.
So they can't marry anybody.
There are people who would gladly take care of the home.
That's how there are also women that will gladly marry men that don't have it.
Yes. But But that's scarce, if I should put it in that sense. It is scarce because it happens. I'm not saying it's not there. It happens, but it's quite scarce. A man, listen. Let's calm down.
Okay.
If you go home today and tell your parents that I've met this guy, I'm going to marry him. Your mother might be all, because women are all emotional about things. Oh, blah blah blah, or to he or he, and all those things. But your father would sit you down, and one of the top 3 questions he will ask is, "What job does he do?"
Okay.
You can try this anywhere.
My mom would do exactly the what job, not the
What job does he do? It's a requirement for every guy who wants to settle down with a lady, even from the lady's family.
But I have brothers, right? And then when I remember at some point, my mom talking about the fact that is my brother sure, like when the first one was getting married, is he sure that the lady that is bringing home can take care of a home? I think for men too, that is a thing that requires from family.
It's a thing.
Yes.
Yes, it is also a thing because now when you talk about gender roles, people are saying you're being sexist. But the fact is there that women are nurturers, and a man can do whatever he wants to provide a house and give birth, but it is the woman who makes it a home.
Okay.
The woman is the one who will nurture the home, including the man, and make sure the place is welcoming. Women are multipliers. You give her a little, she's capable of using, I don't know how, but it's a God-given thing if you believe in God. If you don't, whatever you believe in, gave it to you. And they're able to multiply that and make it huge.
Okay.
I remember Michelle Obama was asked some time ago that if she hadn't married Barack Obama, what would she have done? He said she would still be the wife of a president.
Okay.
Because it is her destiny to be the wife of a president. Whether if you marry him and you have tapped into that,
Donald Trump crash still.
she still would have been. And I believe her.
Okay.
Because women have a way of getting things done.
Okay.
Yes, men, we are there, but women have this way of working things out, and you think about it and it will shock you. So what I'm saying is that the gender roles are there. In the world we live in now, it is up to the 2 people in the relationship or the marriage to sit and discuss. I mean, if I live in Ghana and my wife makes 10 million Ghana cedis a month and I make 7,000 cedis, and somebody has to stay home and take care of the house so that the other one will go and make money and come, I wouldn't say because she's a woman she should stay home. Masai, 10 million Ghana cedis. What are you talking about? That is their problem. You see, the culture we live in also does not help when it comes to these things. And
last week we talked about this whole men and feelings thing.
It's neither here nor there. That time is past. The fact on the ground is that time is past. Now the 2 of you in the relationship discuss and decide this will work for us. No 2 relationships are the same.
Yeah, true.
It is never the same. You can have this pastor's family and this pastor's family. Let's train this pastor's daughter after her mother. Let's train this pastor's son after his father. Let them get married. Their marriage will never be like their parents.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Twins are not the same. So I watched a video some few days ago of twins. I think they were born, those who do natural birth thing and they give birth in a pool of water and all those things. So the twins were in the water, and the caption was that these twins don't know they are born yet. So because they were still under the water and they were living cool.
Get that.
Even the twins who were born there and then, one had full grown hair. The other one looked like an old man. He was bald. So it's like, I wanted to comment and ask, why does one look young and the other one looks like he's losing his hair? But I didn't write anything. I mean, somebody's day one. No one to be mean like that. Even twins who were born on that day were different. So no 2 relationships will work the same way. What will work for you and I might not work for me and another lady, even though I am a common factor in here. So now the world that we live in now, I think that people just have to come to an understanding and discuss. That's why I'm saying, for me, top priority is somebody who is sensible. We need to sit and talk about things.
Do you believe that having what do you call it, a spec, gives you unrealistic dreams and all those things?
Some are.
So what
Some are.
what's preference would you want that seems unrealistic?
You see, what I'll say is this: if you want to put down a list of things that you want in your partner, first look for those things in yourself.
Okay.
If it is possible for you to achieve those things, then by all means, you can list them and say your partner should be. You live in Ghana. How many aeronautic engineers do we have in Ghana? And you are saying you want one who is God-fearing, who has six-pack, is 6 feet tall, makes 6 figures, and that's this specific job. Sometimes, see, ladies, sometimes we have to tone it down. I mean, it's okay to have choices. But, Charlie, sometimes let's be realistic. We live from the known to the unknown. So if you want to have choices, make choices of the ones that are available.
Okay.
And do a nice combination. I have heard a pastor say that you want somebody who is calm, who will not maltreat you, who is blah, 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 but you go out and look for bad boys because you want adventure attached to that. Meanwhile, the cool, calm, collected, pampering people you are talking about, they are in the church. They are church boys.
What makes you know?
Who are not adventurous.
I don't think they're in the church.
You say?
I don't think they're in church.
Some are in the church.
Some, yes.
Yeah. Some are found in church. Some are found on the street. Some are in the club. I mean, people are everywhere.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that don't go look out for somebody who is wildly doing things that are wild and think you can change them.
Do you think people, having specs, those ideas are keeping them from their real partners?
Yes, sometimes that happens.
So if your spec is not your real partner, then why are you even having those specs in the first place?
What do you mean by real partner? You already have a partner?
No. So you have an idea of who you want to be with, which is your preference of who you want to be with. Do you think having those preferences, like wanting a guy that is tall or a dark guy or a guy that, is living on their own, a guy that is, do you think having those, preferences can keep you away from meeting somebody that's actually going to be the one for you?
I believe so. Sometimes that happens in the sense that there are times, if you have listed 6 things you want in a guy, you find somebody who has 3, you find somebody who has 4 of them. While luckier, you find somebody who has 5. You'll never find all of them in the same guy.
You think?
More often than not, readily made like that for you, you can't.
Okay.
Sometimes you are the one who is going to build him to achieve the 2 that you don't find in him.
Okay.
Be careful. I'm not saying go and waste your time on some guy who you don't see any future with. Then do it. But just sometimes it's all in the being realistic. You have found a guy who just fresh out of the university doing national service, and a university boy. So we university we're training, we're building a guy. You see, he's muscular. He has some 6 packs. He's now coming to start life. You want somebody like that to be making 6 figures. You want him to be driving a Mercedes. And national service paying a thing 750 Ghana cedis. You want him to be driving a Benz on 750 Ghana cedis a month. How much food does he eat in the month? You may be the one who would connect him to this man and that man and that woman and that woman who would link him to go get some job that could give him that kind of life. So if you find some of the things you have listed and potential in him, then by all means build.
But then one of the things that also I have in mind is this: is your spec your spec? As in what you want. Does that same person want you too? So let's just say I see you as my spec.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much for that question. The question again. So there's this video, I'm sure you've seen it. It has circulated on social media a lot. And these Americans, they sat on a podcast like this and they were discussing. And the woman was like, the man who is like this and like this and like this and like this, they are not there anymore. And there was a guy there who said, no, I don't agree with you. They are there. They are the fueling stations. They are the banks. They are the markets, they are supermarkets, they are everywhere. It is just that you are not what they are looking for. So when they meet you, they're also looking for some specs. So they will pass you by. And you won't even get the chance to know him, to know that he actually fits your preference. So it's actually the funny thing is that a lot of people think we have choices, but the other guy shouldn't have a choice. So once we see you and we say, "Oh, you fit into this," blah, like, and the guy says, "No, my focus is somewhere else," and then a lot of people don't know how to handle rejection.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't know how to respond to no. So that is the major factor in this whole spec and choices issue. If we all agreed that, well, he fits into my categories, but
if I don't fit,
if I don't fit into hers and he doesn't want me, if I don't fit into hers and she doesn't want me. And then also be careful where you find your spec.
Okay.
Because one, if you're looking for a DB who or whisker, she's this, she's that, she's this, and you find one in the trust key, it's questionable.
DB also is a church.
No, now the DB you're looking for is a DB who spends, vacation, or say, okay, this vacation, I'll spend it in Spain, or I'll probably be in Dubai or something like that. You think that person is sitting in the trust queue waiting for you? It doesn't happen like that. It does not happen.
Good.
So be careful where you sometimes dress up. Go to places that are a little above. If the person you're looking for is above some standards that you are in, dress up. Go somewhere. Pay 350 cedis. Go for buffet at Lancaster or one of the big hotels. You will meet the spec you are looking for. Some nice lady with some very nice figure, almost 6 feet. She's tall like that. She's DB, but she's holding her car keys, and they also are looking for love. But if you find her there and she speaks to you and you are not her spec and she says no, please move on.
See, me, this whole idea of specking thing, so growing up, I think my whole idea of spec has been black man, a bit taller than me, responsible,
Okay.
has sense, like you said before.
Yeah. Wait, let's start again. Black man, a bit taller than you, responsible, has sense. 4/4. Let's go. Let's go forward.
Is empathetic.
5.
Is a homely person.
6.
A person
I'm
is also responsible in terms of providing. I'm not saying that you are coming to do 100%, but at least be able to take care of your own self.
7.
The way I count it, this is very,
it's very important to me. Continue.
Be able to take care of yourself. Yeah. If you find yourself in that space, and after spending time with you, and the truth is, for me, I don't care if you are everything in this box, and then I spend time with you, and then the energy doesn't match, I will detach.
What 7/7. What is the energy you're talking about?
Some people can, fit your physical attribution, but then when you are able to get in touch with them, like you can't even communicate with the person.
Yeah.
You can't even talk with the person on something and it won't turn into a fight. I remember I met somebody who fit my physical way, and then
use me as an example. No, I don't fit. Let's start again. I am dark. I am a dark man. I am taller than you. I am responsible. I am what? Homely. Continue. Add.
Empathetic.
I am. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can cry for you. Add. Continue. Let's finish it. I've mentioned 5. Add the last 2.
It's okay.
Responsible. I can take care of myself. Well. And then the last one is.
If you marry me, can you take care of me?
Besides, I should take care of myself. You need to take care of you.
Obviously, in the dating period, but when you migrate into marriage,
by the time I would have made money.
Me?
Yeah.
No, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to say that
What is left with is the energy. Okay.
Is the energy.
Mm.
Some people can fit your physical attribution,
Yeah.
but in the end, when you actually sit down with them, try to have a conversation with them, you realize that dumb as a beat.
That's why I started with the person must have.
And for me, I feel like in this our generation, we look more into the physical attribution. I want us to actually quickly end this part. We look more into the physical attribution without going deep into, that's where the superficial reasons end.
Yes.
Girls, do not ever compensate just because of a physical attributions.
Well,
the physique, on your accident, no pimla ne conscious, the only thing, yes, because then the physical things that put you to him, they are not there again. Then what's next? So you should look beyond the physical. Yeah, that's what I think anyway.
You should look at everything: physical, spiritual, mental, emotional stability, and then financial. We can't downplay this.
Can't downplay.
It is very important. See, guys,
it didn't look like financial.
I have friends who say, "Oh, my friend says she likes you." The first thing I'll ask you is she rich? Me, that's what I'll ask.
Yeah.
Because it is very important. Let's not play it down. Then later on, you enter a relationship. And you are now finding excuses to want to step out. It is very important. So these things, all of them, the physical is important as the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, financial. It is very important.
Let's do this quickly. We pretend like when somebody says, I want financial security, the person is being a gold digger.
Please. About 6 months ago, I almost moved to Takwa because I wanted to go and dig gold.
Okay,
oh, wow. That's nice. Please, if you are digging gold to save yourself, to be stable financially, please go ahead and dig. Don't mind anybody who will call you a gold digger. One, don't be superficial and be all about money and not think about anything else. But the money is also as important as everything else. So if you want financial stability and because of that they are calling you a gold digger, please go ahead and dig. If you find where we can dig more, come and call me. I'll come and dig some. Because money is important.